This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Fargo man has been formally charged for his role in a Sunday morning shooting at the Arbors apartment complex. However, police say he is not yet in custody.
20-year-old Oliver Ty is charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. A warrant is currently out for his arrest. Most of the documents detailing Ty's involvement are not yet available to the public. However, one document states that Ty shot at 28-year-old Jerome Kuhn and 24-year-old Ophelia Quia and struck Quia in the hand or head, causing permanent damage. Kuhn is also charged in this case.
Now, police also say because there are a number of people involved in this case still at large, there remains a public safety risk. And if you have any information on this incident, you are asked to call police at the number at the bottom of your screen.
A North Dakota man has been charged with sex crimes against a 16-year-old. He is the same man who's been connected to a brutal assault on the Mayville State campus 2 weeks ago.
20-year-old Oliver Barker is charged with sexual assault of a minor, among other similar charges. Investigators found a sexual video of Barker and a 16-year-old girl while searching his phone. The victim said she didn't know she was being recorded and that she was in pain after the acts.
Last night was a reminder that while we have enjoyed a very mild winter, it's not over and it can still pack a punch. In this case, a very cold slap in the face. Let's find out more from Hutch. What's ahead for tonight? Hutch?
Indeed, it's not going to be warm, but not as cold. And that was a beautiful shot from the Dakota Magic Casino there of some color in the sky. But one thing to keep in mind is there's clouds for most areas. That blanket of cloud cover will keep us from seeing temperatures get as cold as we got this morning. Wind chills this morning were 20 to 40 below from Fargo and points north. It was brutal out there. A wind chill advisory has been issued by the National Weather Service for northern Minnesota. So we're seeing that shrink away just a little bit as far as how many counties are included in that. And that is because skies there are the clearest, the rest of us stuck in some clouds. Temperatures today were below zero all day along the international border, but look at Grand Forks warming 2 degrees in the last hour to 2 above from zero. Spotty flurries can't be ruled out. Most areas, minus northern Minnesota, have cloud cover, and that means we're going to see temperatures on the cool side. Here's a look at your planner. Temperatures this evening steady in Fargo under cloudy skies. Our wind southeasterly at 5 to 15 will make it wind chilly though, so bundle up. Dropping below zero briefly, but some overnight warming could be taking place in the Northern Valley. I'll have details on snow we're watching for the weekend as we've been keeping our eyes on the track of a storm system that could impact us. All the details on that and your forecast in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
We've heard from many of you in the Northern Valley this week wondering where COVID-19 vaccination efforts stand. Our Valley News team's Bailey Hurley spoke with Grand Forks officials today and those on the Minnesota side, and she has our story tonight.
It's still slow going for Minnesotans and COVID-19 vaccine efforts.
You know, we're ready. We've been ready, and you know, our citizens are ready, and so we definitely need more vaccine.
Jory says between Pennington and Red Lake counties, there's only around 100 doses delivered each week. But she says they're both still on track to finish up Category 1A by the end of the week.
A limited amount of vaccine has made it challenging.
And Jory assures the lack of vaccinations is not due to the county's lack of effort.
As soon as we get it, we're getting it into people's arms.
Meanwhile, across the river, Grand Forks County says they're receiving around 1,200 doses each week and expect that to increase to 2,400 doses soon.
In a perfect situation, of course, we'd be getting lots more vaccine so that we could just vaccinate everybody who wants it right away. It's a really challenging situation to manage when you don't have enough supply to meet up with the demand. But I think in North Dakota, we're in a really good place.
Every time you vaccinate someone, I think it gives you a little bit of a lift and pushes you through to the next day. So I can't be more than more pleased at the work they've done out there.
Regardless of their situation, all three say they're ready for the federal government to ramp up allocations to get us that much closer to the light at the end of the COVID tunnel.
I'd love to see some normalcy by the 4th of July. We just want to keep ramping it up. We're ready to go. Our lists are long enough to handle more vaccines. So the more we can get, we're ready to pump it out to more people.
In Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And Grand Forks County is expanding to Tier 2 of Category 1B. Now this means those 65 to 74 years of age with at least 2 underlying conditions can get on the waiting list for next week. To do so, call the county's vaccine hotline. The phone number is there on your screen, 701-780-6358.
Efforts continue to increase the number of people getting vaccine shots in Cass and Clay counties. Essentia, which began administering the COVID-19 vaccine the week of January 19th, is focusing on priority group 1B. That includes North Dakota residents or those established with a North Dakota primary care provider age 75 and older. The remaining healthcare workers in priority group 1A have also been getting vaccinated. Essentia anticipates getting 1,000 more doses the second week of February. Fargo-Cass Public Health typically receives information about their expected weekly vaccination allocations on Tuesdays. Currently, the state health department is allocating the vaccine to enrolled providers on a 3-week rotation. The most recent allocation on the week of January 25th was over 1,400 doses. Cass County Public Health typically receives their vaccine every Wednesday. This clinic has provided 500 vaccines so far this week and is expected to administer 450 doses on Thursday. Over 1,000 doses have been administered, with close numbers expected this week. The focus is still on priority group 1A, which is a big one in Clay County. Essentia Health is collaborating with Clay County Public Health to vaccinate Moorhead and Clay County patients. The first Moorhead clinic is this week. We also reached out to Sanford for an update and will pass along those numbers soon. If you're looking to stay on top of the latest vaccine information, get the new VNL vaccine tracker. Here's what you do. You open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen and then tap the link that pops up.
North Dakota's COVID-19 risk level is going to be dropped from moderate to low. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum announcing the change, citing a drop in active cases, which fell to their lowest level since mid-August. Now, this is going to allow bars and restaurants to increase the occupancy limit to 80% and up to 300 people with social distancing. Banquet, ballrooms, and event venues are increasing to 75% of room capacity, not to exceed the ND Smart Restart capacity limits. This change will take effect Friday at 8 in the morning.
A semi-truck was destroyed after catching fire today. It happened before 2 at Key Contracting in West Fargo. A driver passing by spotted smoke coming from the yard. There's no cause of the fire yet. No one was hurt. Later on Valley News Live at 6, discussion among North Dakota lawmakers about protection from COVID liability.
Daytime highs today were below zero all day up north of Grand Forks. The rest of us managed to get a few degrees out of a very cold day. Here's a look at some of the coldest places in the nation this morning. Your hour-by-hour forecast brings some warmth. I'll have details right after this.